We always say that Novi is the best place to live in America, and that really boils down to two things: the incredible people and the genuine pride we all take in our city. We've got gorgeous natural features and absolutely beautiful neighborhoods, and we want to keep that quality of life that we know and love, and maybe even improve it. So how do we maintain the look and feel of our city? That's what we're diving in today. I'm thrilled to welcome our Deputy Director of Community Development,
That's correct,
back to the show, Alan Hall.
I'm back.
And you're here to talk to us about the property maintenance program.
I am. Yeah. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for being here. Hey, we've had great weather lately.
We have. Isn't that nice?
Great time to be alive. All
It
the
is.
Detroit
Fall
sports
colors.
teams, the Tigers, Lions, Red Wings are all
Lions
doing
won
great.
last night. That's awesome.
It's a great time to be alive, man.
Serious.
Tigers had a 15-game stretch. The Lions are doing well.
Yeah.
Which team is your favorite?
I like the Lions. I'm
You're a Lions
guy.
fan?
Yep,
All right.
Yep, yeah.
All
Protect
right.
the den, right?
I like it. That fits our theme. That fits our theme.
Protect your home. Protect the den.
Defend the den. So tell us about the property maintenance program. What is it all about?
Yeah, so I think the property maintenance program is to help everyone succeed. So that's the whole idea, is that we want to establish and keep the values of the homes increasing, commercial buildings increasing, so it has just an overall effect, like you just mentioned, beautifying the community and everybody on the same page. So we all have the same goal, and we're all trying to achieve the same look.
So how do you go about doing that?
So we look at both residential and commercial properties. Again, community development is all about buildings and projects that are above the ground. DPW does more things that are underground and pipes and those kinds of things.
That's a good way to put it.
Yeah, and so we're doing above the ground. So we see our mistakes, basically. And so I'm just kidding. So, but yeah, so I think part of it is like commercial. We don't really have a area program for that. That's ongoing. Mm-hmm. So that all commercial buildings are being scrutinized. When they have new occupancies, when people take over, like a tenant comes in, we look at their buildings and their spaces for just maintenance items, make sure it looks nice and that kind of stuff. Obviously, when a building turns around or a new building, we're looking at the same kind of things. So that's a pop shot, and that happens throughout the city. A lot of times. I think one of probably a good example of that is by the mall. There were two buildings that were owned by Best Buy that were, as soon as you went by, kind of like Red Lobster there.
Okay.
And we tore them down. So, well, we didn't tear them down. When we went through property maintenance program, we were trying to have them, maintenance in our buildings.
Sure.
It became that the buildings were too expensive to fix, and so they took them down. So right now they're laying there. So it really increased the value, just that alone. It just makes it look nicer because you don't have these buildings that are vacant.
That need to be demolished if you want to develop in that area. Anyway.
Yeah. So that was really
So
good.
on the residential side, let's back up and be clear. Our code compliance officers are going out into the community,
Yes.
subdivision by subdivision, and they are taking a visual look at homes through each subdivision. They're not necessarily going on people's property and that sort of thing and being invasive, but they are taking a look and doing what?
Yeah, so we have a residential program, maintenance program, and we've broken up into cities in different sections, and it's like a 6-year plan, and every community will have a visit.
Every subdivision. Yep.
So it's not, it doesn't have a price value of a home or that kind of stuff. It doesn't matter if they're newer, old, everybody's gonna be looked at. And so when they go through, they're looking at items that are guarded by our city code, which gives the mandate to look at the property maintenance code. And then there's the zoning ordinance. So there's mandated items that we're following. So these aren't things that people are doing because they feel like it, or if it's something that, boy, I think that looks like it should be fixed. These are things that are specifically in a code that talks about addressing certain items.
So it's not discriminatory.
That's correct.
Every property is being looked at to make sure that it is up to code and to the city standard.
Yes, and at the same bar. And I think the same bar. And it's not a extremely high bar, but it's a bar that would be pretty much attainable for most people. You look at that and you would say that makes sense to me. So when we go out and visit, we have ordinance officers go out, and they would stay in the right of way. So if there's a sidewalk, they stay in the sidewalk. If it's a street, they stay in the street. They don't really enter the properties, and they just look at the home in this case. They would look at it, take photos, and then write down any deficiencies that they can see.
So tell us real quick what types of things what types of things they're looking for.
So there's in the code, it lists certain items. Probably the most, if you're going to look at, there's different categories of things. Probably the most popular one is protective treatments. So that would be like paint, loose soffits, loose siding,
awnings, gutters,
kind of stuff like that. Gutters would be another part. That'd be part of water with the roof.
Okay.
But they could be dislodged. So that's another part. Chimneys. So flashing around chimneys, the brick on chimneys, that kind of thing. So there's different categories. Those are probably the two big ones. Is that the chimneys and the protective treatments are the two.
And the effort is really to help the residents.
It is.
Understand where their property lies in terms of meeting the code, the ordinance, and maintaining the beauty of the city.
Yes, and that's well put.
And that is the approach. It is not a punitive approach, correct?
Yeah, no, actually it's really, we're there to help. And the whole program is set up to help. And we're trying to give a framework for that helping nature to give some wheels to it. So a lot of people, when they get a letter or they look at it, they're like, wow, I didn't realize that it's been a while, and so we need to fix the home. Because
it becomes invisible to you.
It's
your house. You come there,
yeah.
You're in and out every day, and you see it all the time,
Oh,
and
yeah.
you don't realize that maybe there's a deficiency.
There's something goes down, and sometimes it may feel like we've had people come in. We've had a couple of people actually have interviews with me and talked about it, and I think when they first came in, I think they felt it was petty. And they thought it was that we were picking them out, personally.
Right. And I can understand that.
Well, I can understand it too, because when you're looking at someone's stuff, you're like saying, hey, can we get together and let's fix things? Yeah. How do you do that, in a way that's supportive and be successful? But after talking with them and trying to explain, what we're looking for and how we draw that line between different homes. Let's say on one side, your home has some, blotches of paint, and you got to scrape some fog, it's flaking, and you got to paint it. That seems petty. You're like, come on, really? And it's always high. It's always where you can't reach it. So it's like, so you have that. Next door, the guy has, 2 foot of grass. He's got, gutters falling off his house. He's got, well, fix him. That needs to be fixed. I don't want that. But then on the other side of him, let's say there's a brand new house, and he just put up all his brand new, so he's looking at the guy next to him with the flaking paint. Hey, can you get him to pick his paint? So where is that line? Where's that line? So when we go through, we're just trying to help and say, hey, these things are, something we should look at. It's, and it's not we're not asking for new. We're not asking to replace your entire front. We're not asking to replace brick. I mean, if it's a brick question, usually there's cracks. You can just point that up. Most things can happen.
Tuck pointing.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, and just kind of put that in there, and most of it can be done, relatively quickly. These aren't, huge projects. Some people take advantage, and they say, hey, you're going to come and look at my siding, and they reside the whole thing.
And I've seen people they repainted their garage doors.
Oh yeah, right. It's beautiful.
Like
I mean, you go out there, whoa, man, that's way above the mark, But then other neighbors see that, and they're like, hey, that looks pretty nice. I can't believe you did it with paint, so they go out and they do theirs. And
now mine looks bad.
Yeah, right. And they do that, and so it works. And I think the more the community involvement with that, I think it really is a success.
And to that end, I know when Mario was here with us, he would go out of his way to really help the residents, especially those that needed it. Maybe they needed some finances or whatever.
Yeah.
He would find multiple ways to try and help people get to where the standard is.
Yeah. Well, I think it might be good to talk about the process a little bit.
Yeah.
So when we start a program, let's just talk about residential right now. We'll contact the HOAs. So we have our own little area map that we have. They're all randomly picked. There's nobody that's just okay. We're doing this one now. And then we send a letter out to the HOAs of that area if they have one, and then give them 2 weeks to talk to their people in the neighborhood. Give them a chance to say, hey, the city's going to start doing some property maintenance inspections, and then start asking questions. So the whole idea is to start talking about it.
Start the dialogue.
Right, start the dialogue. And then 2 weeks from that letter, we'll send a letter to everyone. So everyone gets a good, bad, ugly, the whole thing. Everybody gets a letter. And it basically will have this, I brought a little prop with me. So I don't know if you can see this, Josh, but this is a little pamphlet that basically has a checklist, kind of talks about the program, things we're looking for. So it's not surprising things.
Right.
So it's not something that you're looking at and say, well, I had no idea you'd be looking at that, so they're all in there. And it's really kind of a minor issue. And so then we give a minimum 2 weeks from there. So that's like a month since the HOA has been notified to when we may go out. But 2 weeks after we send the letter, minimum, we'll go out and start doing our inspections. A lot of times in that amount of time, people see that and they fix it before we even get out there. So we've had stuff where we've gone out there and like, wow, that's all brand new. And they'll come out and talk to them and they'll say, hey, yeah, I saw your letter. I did this over here. What do you think? And they're like, oh, that's awesome. So talk to the inspectors when you see them. We're very communicative. We really want that dialogue, come out and talk to them. We're not scary. We really want to talk to see what, you're going too far. You don't need to do that much. You can if you'd like, but all we're looking for is this. And they're like, okay.
So let's talk about the numbers a little bit. So of the total amount of homes that you've looked at, let's say in the last year, how many have you found these sort of deficiencies in?
I would say it depends on the neighborhood, but I would say 30 to 40% would be a good number to use. And then from there, there might be other ways of persuasion, and we'll talk about that in a minute, what that number is of people that we may have to, try to compel to do it. So it's voluntary in a way that we want you to succeed, but we do want to get timelines on things. So we'll go out and do our inspection. Everybody should know we're coming. And if you're going to be slated for us to come and you see us out there, please come out and talk. And then they can kind of explain what they're doing. But if we do see a violation, if we don't, we just go drive by. You never hear from us again. We're invisible, so you never hear from us. If we do find some violations and we see some, something that's deficient, then we'll write a notice, not a ticket. It's a notice. And the notice will, in writing, say exactly what things are based on the code, based on code sections. So it's not I feel like this should be better because I don't like pink or something like that. It's not, no, you can't get that. It's going to be a code section. And then it'll have time. And usually we have 30 days for us to come back and respec. So you have 30 days to get it done. Most people in that 30 days get her done. Okay, they go, okay, these guys, and then when we come back out again, there might be, still deficient. All right, then we'll give 14 days. So we'll give another notice, in writing, and it will say, hey, we came out, maybe didn't have time, and give 14 days. Hopefully, we're having communication with the homeowners at this point. Emails, phones, they can come in and talk to us. We talked them out on the site. I mean, we really encourage that so everybody has an understanding. It's not something secret. This is not something that's embarrassing. This is something we just want to get it done.
And it's not, again, like we said earlier, not intended to be punitive.
It isn't. Yeah. It really isn't.
There's a lot of grace there.
There is a lot of grace. In fact, we give after 14 days, we give another 14 days. It's after that. So you got like 30 days. 14 days, another 14 days, and then we usually give another 14 days one more time, okay? And if we don't have communication...
2.5 months now.
Yeah, 2.5 months. There's plenty of time. We try to do it in the spring, so we have the summer to work on. Sometimes we get in later fall, but we try to get it in a winter where construction be done. And then there's those who don't communicate. And then that would be, part of the district court. It would be a ticket then. But even then, if you go there, we'll work at time. That's one way. It's a tool to, okay, if I have to get your attention this way, we don't want to do this, but let's not do the punitive part. Let's get a timeline. When can we work on this? And then settle it there. If there is no communication and it's just silence, then the process takes over.
It is what it is.
It is what it is. And so I think that there's a seriousness to it. So everybody knows it's not a bluff. We are coming in. We want everybody to increase their neighborhood value. Everybody's kind of doing it. I think everybody, when they get into the groove of it, sometimes they'll get guys that are fixing gutters and they give a group rate and go around and fix everybody's gutters. So they try to get deals and that kind of stuff. We can't recommend contractors, but we do see that, and I love it. I mean, I just love the fact that communities getting together. A lot of neighborhoods just themselves, the guys that live there, they're like, hey, I can do this. Hey, I can do this, and they get together and they do things too. So there's a lot of excitement. I think it can be irritating because the city is poking at you, so you're like, what's the deal? But I think when you see that it's an ordinance for all, a code for all. Okay, it's not a singled out, and the petty is only in the eye of the beholder. So how does that work, right?
I got to remember that one. Petty is in the eye of the beholder. That's funny. Yeah. So, I mean, at the end of the day, it helps the property owner maintain their home value. It helps maintain home values throughout the community, and it helps keep the community beautiful.
Yeah.
And you may end up fixing things that keep rodents out of your house, that keep the critters away. There's a lot of benefits to the program.
Yeah, and most of those things, like you said, that's the kind of stuff when we talk about protective treatments, is those kind of things.
Yeah.
The bees and the rodents and that kind of stuff. So it's not. I mean, there's more to it than just just one little speck. Hi, I got you.
Right.
It's usually you got to fix that. And we can agree on that.
Right. So. Right. Well, thank you very much, Alan. So, can you hold up your prop again?
Sure. It's the one with the green. The green. Yeah.
So you have those available in your office, right?
We have them available in the office. They're at the front desk. You can come and get these.
And if you want to get a jump start on that, you can download it from the website, cityofnovi.org, and just go to the search tool and search property maintenance. And then you'll get the document in the search results.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Well, thank you, Alan. That is very informative as always.
Well,
you're a scholar and a gentleman.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
I appreciate you. Appreciate your team and all that you guys do. Anything else you want to add?
Thank you. No, I appreciate you guys having us come on. I just want to stress that we really are about communication. Mm-hmm. Even in our department, we talk amongst ourselves, so we don't really have anybody that's an island, even departmental wise. But the community, we love it. I mean, they come in and they feel like they want to, I want to get these guys, and I want to give them a piece of my mind. Mm-hmm. And they get in there, it's like, we really want to help.
Yeah.
And they see that and they're like, well, yeah, I want to be mad, but really I can understand what you're doing. And then I may not like it, but we've had problems but situations where roofs had to be repaired. Mm-hmm. I mean, some are big, but it's always on the, I know. It's not a mystery.
Yeah, because you can, if your roof needs to be repaired, you'll know on the
you'll
inside
see
of the
it.
house.
And I think what you said at the very, very beginning is that sometimes time goes by, days turn to weeks, weeks turn to months, and all of a sudden it's like, I wanted to get to that. Man, has it been 2 years? I have no idea.
I just did that at my house this morning. I'm like, man, it's been like 5 years. Like a photo popped up in my on my phone.
Right.
5 years ago, you took this picture, and I'm like,
oh man, I can't believe that.
It still looks like that.
right.
And time goes by so fast, and you have so much going on in life. It's sometimes hard to keep up with those things, and you know how we are as husbands.
Yeah,
I'll start it.
I'll start this. List and
I'll start this when you ask me, and I'll finish it in a couple of years.
right. My wife's watching right now.
I'm sure mine too. I'm sure. Well, thank you very much. If people have questions, they can just drop by the office. They can give a call to community development. Or go out on the website and look up the property maintenance document brochure.
It's all there. Yep.
All right, thanks, Alan. So we have to give our goodbye. You know how to do this, right?
I know how to do this now. Yes.
All right. So thank you very much for watching / listening. Tell your friends to share and subscribe on YouTube, Spotify, and Apple Podcast. And now you know. Have a good one.